9 to 5 workers versus streamer debate. What is harder? Interesting. Well, I can already tell you what it is, to be honest, without even looking at the entire video. We'll just look at some of the video, to be honest.
You disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude.
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen,
Your job isn't dangerous. You would have to actually have to go to work.
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice.
You're high. You're hungover.
You guys are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time.
I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
Streamers versus 9 to 5 workers. Interesting. Wait, this is from Jubilee? Oh, interesting. Okay.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right, so my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties, maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be.
That is the most out of touch thing I've ever heard in my entire life, to be honest.
On your game 24/7. It's like a switch
No,
that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You
have.
guys got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have
I
to go
wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day,
God, I have to
got
stream
dogs,
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy
I wish I
24/7.
could be at home like you and get back and get paid big money.
We're not even at home. We're walking around.
Man,
We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit-
stuff.
These are all FaZe Clan members, and this is what they actually think? Man, dude, that's the most craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I got to slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I got to work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have a guaranteed
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
got to work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't
just
get paid
to
either.
collect.
You don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is boring. We don't like this video. We have to create content. Imagine you have to.
Boo hoo hoo. Boo hoo. Wow. Crazy. Wow. Oh, dealing with L's in the chat. Oh, wow. I'm crying. Let me play on the saddest, smallest violin in the world. Crazy.
Be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me
I'm not even high energy whatsoever,
24/7.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, chat. Whoops. Ah, that's the reason why. I accidentally clicked it out of it.
I'd
Sorry.
rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. That. Does not a shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get
Okay. Oh, wow. I get called fat. Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy.
called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat, whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's a homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing a flag.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day,
We
too.
deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Stugs are... Do you not know who the Lacey Stugs...
I did about like, what, 8 years of customer service related jobs? Yeah, I did like 8 years of customer related service jobs. That shit was fucking, ugh. It it was something. I'll be honest with you. Literally, I had someone who talked to me because I used to work at a flower place, right? At a flower shop. They literally told me, because like we had like trees, right? We had like specific like small trees that have like fruits and stuff. If you plant them or so, they could grow as a big tree, and they grow like fruits and stuff like that. Literally, someone told me, what was it? I think it was like, are peaches considered as citrus fruit, or like, are peaches a citrus fruit? Literally, I had someone come up to me and ask me that question or so. Or like, there was one or so, like they were pointing at this one specific pot or something, and they're like, what does this pot do? And I'm like, no fucking way, dude. I was like, holy shit, man. I felt like talking to these people made my IQ go down.
Dogs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. You know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point.
I've had a bunch of
I
had mostly customer service
having a job,
jobs.
being
That's
a
why you
cook,
gotta grind.
you have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your YouTubers? You had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually go to work. Oh my God, did I just cuss at you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have
That's still considered as a job. If you like buy houses and do a real estate business like that, you're still working.
to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever. He would have to turn around.
Yeah, but you're proving my point.
You would have to turn around.
With his mindset, yeah.
Point. You're proving my point on
These
why
are all
these
are all FaZe Clan people. So this is basically 9-to-5 workers versus the streamers debate.
Because
basically, these are FaZe Clan
tomorrow.
people.
You could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You could go cook over here, cook over there.
You could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlit. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 local cans. I gotta make sure, I get the 4 local can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm
What the fuck am I listening to?
Nice to meet you.
From
Ron.
35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
I like the old FaZe people, not the new one. The new FaZe Clan, I'm just not really a huge fan of them. I just kind of like the old clan members.
I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
You get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever
You
done it?
get spoiled. You get spoiled.
And this is like back in the early days when they did trick shotting shots before, you know, they decided to blow up and everything like that. You know, this was like before fame. Let me just remind you that, okay?
That your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
Rhonda,
Because
I got a
did
question for Rhonda.
I
got a
did
question for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
Yeah.
What's a subathon?
This was before.
30 days straight,
24
hours a day.
Day and night.
No break.
We all streamed for
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards.
Yeah, but a subathon or so, you still go to sleep. I don't think you're always on 24/7 for a subathon. Like you still go to bed.
Your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
If you know how
day
hard
were
it
you
is
a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a 3-minute ad.
You pass trays. You short-handed.
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now keep.
It's fake
Think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and
I
judging
got
you
caught with
based
my
on it.
ex.
I got
in
caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about
Because
you.
that's our
job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh, brother.
Short-handed.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
Well, that's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
Go.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have.
How have you not worked a real job to 9 to 5? FaZe Clan had it rough. You think it's easy to drop a 360 no-scope wall sliding drop shot and dropping nukes with 70 kills every match while shouting racial slurs in proximity chat? Yeah, it's not a job, it's a community service. They didn't get enough appreciation. They are unsung heroes of our generation. Shut up. Just shut up. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from you. Mr. I love League of Legends.
I worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why is she laughing? Bro, nah, she's making me mad.
I actually feel like they're wrong.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah, when you go to
guaranteed.
work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you're someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is
Bro, can you stop snapping your fingers? That's so irritating. Like you think like, slay girl, slay. Oh yeah, you got it, girl, you got it. Fuck out of here, stop. Just stop. Stop.
easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay. That's one
nine to-
aspect of it.
Working
right?
at
Yeah.
Foot Locker,
Okay.
working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer. Yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas. You have to stay relevant. There
Oh,
was
we're talking about
You have to stay relevant. You have to come up with ideas. Right. It's not like they don't watch you for you. You know, they watch you for your ideas. They watch you for your, you know, your crazy shit. You know, wow, crazy. For God's sake, literally, I stream for like, I'd say like the rough like I've checked my numbers last time or so. I streamed like around roughly around like 30 people or so, right? I'm like, you guys come here for like, you know, for me personally. You don't come here for my ideas or like my, you know, the shit that I plan out or something like that. You guys come and hang out and, you know, with me just for being me. You know? Just me being me. Nothing super crazy, nothing like, you know. Even look at Moist Critical too as well. Even Moist Critical is like, you know, doesn't do any crazy things like these people, you know?
Ideas now. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
what do you-
talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to
that's
start
one
with?
Yeah.
way that
But
it's
it doesn't make.
started
But you're not
with
even.
pay.
You're not
I don't
even.
have a
you
plan. I
keep switching
just
it. So
want
why
to
don't
do
you
that.
answer my
I'm not switching
question?
anything.
Yeah, you 100%.
I come for the
How
shit
is it harder
talking.
if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of
Nah,
hard?
you suck.
That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that you need
difficult.
creativity. You need to
Okay.
get out of your circle, comfort
Sure.
zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube?
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the people that
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would rather put streamers versus YouTube content creators against each other, to be honest. That's basically how I would do it. What's harder? YouTube content creators or streamers? That's a better analogy at each other, to be honest.
But you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to
doesn't
you
have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you could sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example,
Yeah.
is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity. Because
there's
some
hard-
people around here said, oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
when
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or
Stop
turning on a
snapping your
camera
fingers,
as opposed
bro.
to
Stop.
going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift.
You're not that
and deal
guy.
with your
Tasks you have to do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
You're not that
interpersonal
guy.
thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number
Okay,
of hours
perfectly.
that you are talking and typing
Stop
and
it,
shitting
Frog.
and eating and all
Stop
that
it.
stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me
Yeah,
out.
go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most
Sure.
important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of flags.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. Hang on. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Hey, look good though. We good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media
Shut
a
up,
lot,
Dark.
that
Shut the
you get
fuck up.
berated.
I swear.
So I
don't
actually
wanna
did
hear it.
content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So,
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you're saying like to go back
There's
to the beginning,
no
you're saying, like, you can manage, like, your
relaxation.
time with like
Okay,
relationship. Was
sure.
that correct? Like you have your girlfriend
Sure.
and you go home like.
I will if I ever make it big or so, right? If I get to the level of like actual like big, like some of the other like big VTubers or the other streamers or so, I will literally make a video of my experience of how it is, you know, streaming or so. I will literally let you know, guys, and I will be 100% honest with you guys of what is actually difficult, a 9-to-5 job or streaming. I will literally make a video on that.
Fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would have been able to do it without.
Example. So you said 14 you started, I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money and it slowly went super up and then all of a sudden it went down, right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off completely. About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke.
Wow, at 16 years old, you were rising up and then you fell down. Wow, crazy. Crazy. Maybe because it's not an actual stability thing, you know?
Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9-to-5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country. From
Unemployed
my
is
parents
hardest?
At the age of 19,
Okay, buddy.
lived
Yeah,
alone in an
totally.
apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making more than my rent.
Yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every month.
I was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she's laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How
Shut the
are you
fuck
able
up,
to
Winter.
survive?
I lived with my mom, I was 16.
This guy.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege?
It is.
But my mom, how's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What
take
is that?
9
That's
to
a whole
5s.
different discussion. So a lot of people don't have houses.
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that
I had an apartment. I didn't have a house.
support them or accept
But that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed, so.
Okay, well, I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings, to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day, even
I wonder where Sage is at. Sage is at can be able to put his own 2 words on this actual subject itself. Honestly, hearing this is just wild to hear this. To be honest,
Let's say I lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But that's-
videos. Even if people are hating on
that's
you and
not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Okay, dude. Okay. What am I fucking hearing, bro? What the fuck? Streamer University, bro. Oh my fucking god, dude. Round 3, Adapt. Adapt is a top-tier variety and IRL streamer averaging around 12,000, 13K viewers per stream on Twitch with 930,000 followers and peaking as high as 46,000 concurrent viewers. FaZe Adept is a key figure in the FaZe clan. He helped shape FaZe brand from its original stage to now. Is this a CC life harder than no, this is actually the FaZe. These are FaZe clan members against a 9-to-5 workers. Apparently that's what it is. My diploma is presented by Proof Kai said. FaZe clan, that's what they are. It's a Call of Duty clan.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range.
Are you serious? That one guy's like, huh? If I lose some followers, I ain't gonna get no other followers. Bro, you do gain other followers, bro. What the fuck?
Of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, you know, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you, you need to build that over years and years and years and hours of.
Yeah, but that means they like you for who you are, you know? They like you for you. Not your content. They like you for you. Either if you're doing like reaction stuff or stuff like that, they like you because of your opinion. That's like, you know, that's the one thing, you know? There are some people who are not gonna like your opinion, yeah, but that's just how it is. That's just how the real world works, you know? It is hard to start, but when you get going, you're almost set for life, you know? Yeah, you know, you just gotta keep grinding at it, you know? It's consistency. That's basically is what you want to do. Constant consistency.
Trust and communication and intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you. You don't just fall into a million.
I wouldn't. So for me, this is how I see it. Streaming is not hard. Entertaining people is a lot harder. That's where my mentality is when it comes to like the whole streaming versus 9-to-5. Streaming is not hard because anyone can stream. You just turn on, you download OBS, set up OBS, you click the button, connect your Twitch to OBS, and you set it up, and there you go. You click stream, and you're done. That's it. That's literally streaming. That's literally the definition of streaming, you know, being a streamer. You just stream. That's it. Now, being entertaining and entertaining the audiences, right, to keep their attention here and keeping them here for a long time or so, that's a different story. Because if people don't like you, or they find you boring, or anything of the between, right? Well, you know, they'll just go find someone else.
Subscribers.
Of course not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you,
Morning.
a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that, that's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up.
I'm not really mentally exhausted when I deal with people. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Hey, King.
At 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9-to-5.
That's what I'm saying. The entertainment part. That's basically, you know, that's basically what I'm talking about. The entertaining the audience, keeping their attention here, keeping a high congruent number here, having people, you know, come here and then like, you know, have your numbers increase. That's a different story. That's a completely different subject, and you know.
It has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
We have to,
You already know what he's doing.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially
You got a new monitor?
reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old. It started
Probably a mistake or so for you to make content at 12 years old. Just my personal opinion, you know. Not me though. I got a social battery. But since I get to work with dealing with people, the threshold got up.
started out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I don't think anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quickscope.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then
Okay.
do streaming.
Okay.
So
And
you're
with how many
constantly-
people helping you?
You're how many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
Yeah, all of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was trick
Was
shotting-
it just you? Like
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if it
you
didn't
did.
exist,
Okay,
if it didn't exist,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
couldn't press play, you couldn't press record.
I used to do 12-hour shift jobs too as well.
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just
a,
talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on, then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I also had
have
to
a
spend
campus
years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get
I'm
paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
That is the most weirdest. Those are the most weirdest arguments I've ever heard in my entire life.
And my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys this is.
I
this
know
is
how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is
So
very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all
Bet.
day. You never sit down.
I hear you, I
You're
hear you. I built a
house.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Why is this even a
Hairspray.
debate?
So you're-
I don't
you're-
even know why this is even a debate. I'm not gonna watch the full entire thing though.
So it's
thing-
dangerous.
It's just gonna be a rinse and
Your
repeat
job
kind of
isn't
type of
dangerous.
situation.
Your
Your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So your whole
She
thing.
doesn't get that.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not physical.
but-
Mine's saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for a
job where
second.
you physically.
Number one, you can't do what she does. She's a makeup artist. You think that you can do makeup artist job is a crazy thing to hear that, to be honest.
physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a
That's the most dumbest thing to say every single time. Oh, you can't even do a crank shot. You can't even do a 360. You can't even do a quick scope. That is the most dumbest argument I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh, you know, I was like, oh, you carry makeup, but you can't even do a crank shot. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
controller
Talk to
and make a 200K montage.
Talk to
You
him.
can't.
Man.
No one in here can.
Come on, man.
None of you can.
But you can
none
go
of
carry
you-
some- just
none of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
You
yes.
think in 4 days they had a trick shot. I think in 4 days they had a trick shot.
Actually, yes.
These are literally the younger generation of content creators. Just letting you know that. Just letting you know that these are the younger generation of content creators.
would have
hours
to
a
do
day,
that.
and then your day is never done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No, no.
all of the
Wait,
things
wait.
that you
Stop.
use?
You can't trick hot,
You have
but
to
I can fuck
clean
up
all
your
of your
hairline.
gear.
You don't know about dry
Okay,
streets.
buddy.
You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my
God, disable
Elgato?
resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling resample.
Oh my God.
My montage is fucked. Your main underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and
Yeah.
hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so
I don't
how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think
How many
any of you
hours
guys
a
ever do.
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However long I
12 hours a day to do trick shotting? Man, that's crazy, to be honest.
Okay, 12 hours a day
however
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be
Y'all
in the
laughing,
right
he's
spot,
not trolling.
throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down. I gotta have my rotations.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick
Stick drift. Talk about the stick drift. Talk about the dead zone. I can't, dude. I can't take that guy serious, bro. Honestly, I cannot take that guy serious. Hey, bro, talk about the dead zone. That's a good argument, you know? Talk about the dead zone. This is so dumb.
Stick drip.
Saying is for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us.
They have to be trolling. There's no way they're being real, dude. There's no way they're actually using these arguments for it. There's legit no way. Dude, I can't not believe this, dude.
Or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing. That's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
The crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him.
his
when he
thoughts.
Yeah.
Crackhead almost decapitated him by throwing a pumpkin at him. Right. Oh my god, it's this
My
guy.
name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That you know, we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're
It just means his
9 to
throat
5ers.
game is not that good. If he has a weak neck, that's about it. Maybe he has a glug a little bit more, you know?
and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Are you serious?
You have false energy because you're
False
across the
energy.
screen. You're not interacting with people like we
you know
do.
how many-
So what are we doing right
Not
now?
interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait,
so-
isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me. Come
There's
on.
millions of people who watch the video who
Yes.
save lives every
Yes.
day, probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out into the clubs at night, staying out till 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
So what I'm saying is like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
okay. Now,
What kind of shit's going on?
you go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that
Oh, dude, this fucking hurt. This fucking. This is the great. All right, Dubstep, you're gonna have to explain for this for the black delegation here. You know.
It's your choice. You chose that. You chose this life.
That's the thing. We can't.
And that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now.
How are you
with
gonna
the
take
whole
responsibility of this, Dubstep?
world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9 to 5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many bands we meet a day?
I think. Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I
any
think,
entertainment?
Oh my
Of course I watch.
So do
entertainment.
you ever,
I got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh? Do you ever laugh?
Of course I laugh.
So then they
We're
interact with
touching
you.
I'm talking about
But
the guy in
interaction
general.
is
Did it
not
make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm
Did it
watching
make you, wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends. It
Have you
all
ever been
depends.
I love it
Depends
the
on what's
moment.
coming.
I like it the moment when he doesn't have anything to say. Someone else has to jump in to save his ass. That's funny.
I feel good.
Some of it is fake.
right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well let me answer your because I'm debating him.
Okay, yeah.
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now. Go
all
ahead.
right, come on.
So when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
True. They aren't even respecting the 1v1. Aren't they famous for 1v1 no scope sniping? Bro, I would have totally said that or so in that argument there. I'd be like, wait a second, FaZe, aren't you guys famous for 1v1 no sniping only matches? Why aren't you respecting the 1v1 here? Oh, dude, I would roast their asses so hard with that shit. If they want to use Call of Duty logics, I can use Call of Duty logics too.
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Okay, buddy,
You know,
sure.
you just like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you
Or their
every
hand
single
shaking,
day.
their hand shaking.
Like, you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
I can't with this VOD
I've had
back to
10
Stellar
hundreds
BBL.
of times throughout years of my life had kids come up to me and say these things. So
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day. bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your
loves
mom
it.
and say that your work is harder?
tells
That
you
is
it's
so rude, honestly.
Disrespecting your mom, bro. You lucky your mom doesn't come at you and literally smacks you up the head for saying that shit. To be honest, like literally straight up.
Works two of them.
Okay,
She works at two hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at two hospitals.
No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said. You won't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job.
Where's Dubstep? Where's Dubstep at for this specific scene? Dubstep, get your ass back here. What is this?
Oh, because I got touched. I used to work at Costco's. I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire,
Maybe because people think you're a hoodlum because it's the way how you dress. Maybe. I'm not gonna say anything, but like, you know, the outfit speaks a lot of words. You know. I'm just saying. You know.
get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Okay.
I didn't have to interact.
Well, you do know he has like grills on his teeth. You know that, right? It's literally his looks. Like, if you see this guy literally at like coming down from a sidewalk or so, like he doesn't speak to you, right? He doesn't say anything to you, but the way how he's dressed is immediately, you know, it'd be like, oh, okay, he's that kind of person, you know?
When nobody just smacking me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, the way that's just literally the way how he dresses.
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
if I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Not fun at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But
you're on his diesel.
Okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that was sarcasm and you didn't read it. No, I'd like to.
No, listen to the time that I wake up. I wake up maybe 3, 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them.
Go to your fucking place, trash.
Are you serious? Are you actually serious?
No, let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure that my
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So
yeah.
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face. Cool.
So he got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we could just scrub something around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m. I'm still thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is fried.
You know what's crazy?
Man.
8, 9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work today.
You already did my ear?
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What?
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
Kill
No, I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope.
Jesus Christ.
He has no social cues. Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to say to you,
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah,
That's what I want to say. You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
FBI, open up! But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
Sorry. That was pretty funny. You're sad to hear that. I'm a Superman. I'm saving people. Oh my god, I'm fucking dying, dude. I can't take this video serious.
The hero.
I
I'm a superhero,
can't.
no cape.
I kind of want to hear what the other people say, but then I kind of don't at the end of the day. Here, you know what? I'm going to move closer to the end. Here, let's move closer to the end. Let's see.
So like, but you're dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing. Like,
I'm not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
it's
I didn't
easy.
say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you can
how
hone.
do you
can
know?
master.
How do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other games.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
I know, but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder? How do you know?
Okay, look. I've done semi-professional stuff. I've interacted with like other semi-professional players, and compared to a semi-professional player to a normal player, they're literally different. They're like literally different things. The way how they view the game itself is completely different. Because I've talked to people who played Smite. Smite is one of the best examples when it comes to pro and semi-pro, like actual like levels compared to like the bottom tier, right? Like the normal players or so, or people who think they're good, or ranked players. Even ranked players, it's different. So when it comes to those specifically those specific players, I don't know how these guys do it, but when it comes to actual people, they actually look at the math and like, you know, everything, like when it comes to like, okay, how many seconds does it have for this, or how much is this and that, and like, okay, their relics are down, it's like 45 seconds or so, 45 seconds the relics are down, so we can still hit them at a certain time frame or so in the thing, and that's pretty much about it, you know. Like, it's a different point of view of them seeing the game itself, you know. That's just how it is, you know. It's just their brain is different. That's what it is.
What does it take to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah. What
so
does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
It's not a gift. Fuck off, dude. It is not a fucking gift for you to become. Okay, buddy. Okay. All right, man.
Tens of thousands of hours of work and editing and filming and constantly
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate
skill.
and
As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just
it is not a gift to be skilled, okay? Okay, buddy. It is not a gift, all right?
a pure skill.
I had to put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone, Tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put, I can circle back and give
Do
you
you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When
my
you're trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't
short?
know No,
launch
I
pad?
don't, but if I
Exactly,
want...
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, you can do Excel sheet.
No, but exactly. I
They're
can
just talking.
throw-
They're just talking game.
These
As
refreshes
a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you.
Why do you think I don't like any of the new phase members? I don't like any of them. Not a single one. I don't like any of them.
About the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on brace.
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you. If I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is. Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No, that's not how the job works. You pay me, I'll get the job done.
All this is nothing. Being a professional gooner is way harder. Goon maxing is very challenging. Yeah, we saw one guy who was literally gooner, who gooned out too much. He literally left the server, you know? So each 95 worker will now give their final thoughts on streaming is actually more difficult.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame in this era. So and technology
also
is
very
totally
true.
different now because we were just
That's also another thing too. They came up with a different era.
talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with cop. I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was we just feel like what we did
Okay,
was
buddy,
right.
shut up,
And
Dark.
that's what I think.
My mind was changed in the sense that now.
For me personally, when it comes to like content creating or streaming in general, it's just entertainment. Entertaining your audience is a lot harder than just being a streamer. Because you want to know what being a streamer is? It's called literally pressing the button, pushing stream, and that's it. You're already a streamer. That's literally the definition of being a streamer. Being an entertainer, now that's a different story.
I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
But yeah, that's how I personally see it. That honestly, like that shit was funny. 9 to 5 workers versus 5 rage baiters. This was definitely a skit. This was definitely something for shits and giggles at the end of the day. But honestly, I could not take it serious. I really couldn't take it serious in my personal opinion. I was like, no fucking way are they using these arguments. The one dude pulls out a fucking race card and literally says, "Oh, you're not the target audience because I'm black. Because you think I look like a hoodlum." I'm just like, no fucking way did he actually pull the race card. That is the most Twitter thing I have ever seen in my entire life, bro. Honestly. Oh my god, that shit was so hilarious. Oh my god, they was low key just chatting. Yep. I'll be honest with you, it's funny. It's a pretty fun. I think it's just a troll video at the end of the day. But man, dude, that shit was terrible. That shit is terrible. I'll be honest with you, because you want to know something. I'm gonna throw this rebuttal against them. You know, the reason why they say they are tired, right? They say they're tired and everything like that, because number one, you decided to choose that specific persona, which is the super hyper energy, over the top, crazy, you know, hey guys, welcome to my fucking Call of Duty video, you know? You guys decided to choose to be that specific persona. You didn't have to be that persona, okay? But you decided to choose to be that persona because that is the new hip and trend for younger generations, because apparently their attention spans is shorter than my fucking relationships, you know? But hey, that's just me anyways, because personally, I don't cater for that audience. My audiences are literally in the late 20s and 30s and 40s. Those are my audiences. Those are the audiences that I cater to the most. And I prefer that audience specifically. I can't be that energetic. I cannot. I can't be like all these other VTubers who are super energetic, moaning all the time, ADHD, saying the most wildest, craziest things like left and right, you know? Like honestly, like even I can't even do that, man. Fuck, man. I think I have a more better chance of getting a shiny Gardevoir from Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby than I do doing that shit, you know? But hey, that's just it is what it is, you know? Just their mental is tired, then their body suffered from atrophy, being stuck in a room for extended time. Yeah. Ko's are role playing as a nothing phase. Me, Dom. Ko is allegedly a crackhead. Your mom's a crackhead though. She comes after me every single time, every night, you know, to get that look, you know. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from the Phase. This is the first time I've heard anything from Phase Clan in like over 20 years. It's literally been over 20 years since I've heard anything about the Phase Clan, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, 9-to-5 job is a lot harder than a streaming job. I'm just saying. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.